Azrael! It had been 10 years since Ramatek left Aranis, after what he considered his awakening. With some melancholy, the dark priest stared at the ruins around him. His eyes perceived everything as only he could. An environment in which the material and the spiritual world formed a swirling chaos. That abomination was something that Ramatek had learned to hate, and its mere vision upset him so much that with a slight fit of rage, he destroyed what remained of the central chamber of the cathedral. While fragments of the walls fell around him and turned to ashes, the priest wondered again how he could have been so blind his whole life. Like 1,000 times in the past, he silently thanked his God for blessing him, for opening his eyes to the truth. Existence was a sin. The whole creation must disappear. That absolute truth, which only he understood, had become his gospel, an intrinsic part of his own nature. The world, in its folly, would consider him insane and would try to stop him, but they could not. Nothing could. Someday, he would awaken the only God. Someday, the whole existence would come to an end. That was his destiny. That seal. The entrance won't be open much longer. We need to destroy the barrier quickly.
Two more. One more. Babe.
I know. It's him again.
It's too late for Ramatek. I have already destroyed it. You won't be able to reclaim it now.
So you can talk after all. Who are you? Are you one of the messengers?
You are the ones who call me that, but yes, I suppose that you could say that I am one of them.
Are you the one behind all of this? The one who brought us to the tower?
Maybe you really don't know anything. Maybe you are just another pawn. But even then, it doesn't matter. You must be stopped. Your world won't be saved.
You monster!
Enough. We don't have time. This place won't hold itself much longer without Ramatek around.
You. Leave her out of this. I'm sorry. I know that you want the cool guy spot in this drama. You even brought your own attire. Nice coat, by the way. But the role is already taken.
Dark Messiah, I'm afraid that letting her out won't be possible.
You really don't know who you are messing with, boy.
Let's end this. Your story.
This place! It can't hold itself together anymore!
You were saved by the bell, pal.
And so, the story goes on for you. Just a little more. Girl, you should wonder if you really want to become an instrument of salvation.
What? The monster looks at the little girl. It knows that it's over for her. The child cries, shouts, and tries to escape. But the monster is faster. The claws penetrate her flesh, and she collapses with her body broken by pain. Everything will be over soon. But then something happens. A drop of the little girl's blood falls on the old chained book. The world becomes silent. And suddenly, they are not alone anymore.
Hi again, Sleeping Beauty. How are you? Honestly, you don't look too well.
I've been better.
This messenger thing is really messing you up, you know. Not that I dislike seeing you screwed, but only if I'm the cause.
Sweet as always. My lady, there's something I need to ask you. We just met a strange messenger who talked about me becoming an instrument of salvation, and Lady said something similar about herself. I was wondering if you had heard something like that before?
In the past, we used that term to talk about people who performed an immeasurable sacrifice to end the war in the shadow. I myself have been called thus, having forfeited my body to stop the first evil. However, I doubt that this can be the same case. He must be talking about something we can't understand yet. If he is alive, maybe it would be wise to inquire about it when you meet him again.
Shit! You remember what I said to you before about being careful with higher Noth? That's a queen!
I summon you, Azrael! How much time had passed? Actually, that didn't matter anymore. The human half of Jonathan allowed him to survive to what was supposed to be the end of the fantasy. In those chaotic days, his father tried to devour him. It was the last thing he did before dying. Perhaps he still hated Jonathan for his mother's death, or maybe he was just trying to absorb the magic inside of him in order to survive. One way or another, the result was, ironically, the opposite. Jonathan absorbed all of the entity's essence, and now he had more power than he could have ever dreamed of. He became the lord of folklore, and thanks to him, all its inhabitants survived. They gave him a new name, the Fairy King.
I know how I can thank you for what you've done. A jewel red as blood.
Do you have any idea what the nameless messenger wants?
No more than you. But that guy is crazy powerful. I feel that he has not showed us all he's got. He's going easy on us. And that really pisses me off.
What he said to us. An instrument of salvation. That's exactly the same thing Lady said. I wonder how this is all connected.
Don't concern yourself with that. We don't have all the pieces yet. We'll face him again.
Why did you save me when we met? You didn't have to. I hadn't given you any order. I didn't know how.
Actually, it wasn't for you. That guy seemed like an absolute imbecile who didn't know his own place. You were just there.
Classic Ergo. You know, it's funny. At the time, I thought you were the hero of a fairy tale.